Hello, and welcome to Daily English Flow. We're really happy you're here. I'm Amelia.
And I'm James. On this channel, we practice real, everyday English with natural conversations.
If you enjoy learning this way, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. All right, let's get started.
So, today we're talking about habits for 2026 because goals sound exciting, but habits are the quiet work that actually changes your life, right?
Exactly. A goal is like, I want to get fit, but a habit is, I walk for 20 minutes after dinner. One is a dream, the other is a plan you do daily.
I love that, but I have to confess something. I'm good at choosing goals and terrible at keeping habits. I start strong, then disappear after a week.
You're not alone. I think habits are hard because we expect quick results and we get bored when nothing changes after 3 days. It's so normal.
Yes, and sometimes we try to change everything on Monday morning. We say, I'll wake up early, eat perfect food, study English, and run a marathon.
That's the classic trap. Our brain hears that list and goes, nope, it feels too big. So we do nothing. It's better to pick one small habit first.
Okay, one small habit sounds less scary. But how small is small? Like, what if I want to read more, but I'm tired after work and I just scroll online?
Then start with something almost silly, like I will read 2 pages every night. 2 pages is easy, and once you begin, you might read 5 or 10.
2 pages feels too easy, but maybe that's the point. Because if it's easy, I'll actually do it, and I won't need a lot of motivation.
Exactly. Motivation is not reliable. Some days you have it, some days you don't. But a simple habit can survive a bad day, and that's the secret.
All right, let's make this practical. Let's talk about mornings first, because my mornings decide my whole day. If I rush, everything feels messy later.
Same here. My first morning habit for 2026 is waking up at the same time, even on weekends. It's not fun at first, but it makes life calmer.
Even weekends, Amelia, that's a serious choice. If I wake up early on Saturday, I feel like I'm losing something, like my freedom is gone.
I get it, but think about Monday. If you sleep late on Sunday, Monday hurts more. I prefer a gentle Monday instead of a dramatic Monday.
A dramatic Monday is basically my brand, but okay, I'll try. What do you do right after you wake up? Please tell me you don't jump into emails.
I really try not to. In 2026, I want a calm brain, so I keep my phone away for the first 20 minutes. If I check messages, my mind gets noisy.
That's so true. One message can change your mood. Suddenly you're worried or angry, or you start comparing your life to someone else. It's wild.
Exactly. So, my next habit is water first. I drink a big glass of water before coffee. It sounds simple, but it makes me feel awake in a clean way.
I want to say I'll do that, but I know myself. I'll walk to the kitchen and forget why I'm there. Then I'll make coffee and call it a victory.
Then make it impossible to forget. Put a glass next to the sink or leave a water bottle where you can see it. Make the habit obvious.
Okay, I like that. My morning habit is making the bed. It takes 2 minutes and it gives me a small win. It's like my brain says, good start.
That's such a good habit because it builds momentum. Also, your room looks better and you feel more in control. Small things really matter.
Another habit I want is stretching, but I'm not flexible. If I stretch, I feel like an old robot. My body makes sounds that should not be public.
I'm laughing because I understand. But you don't need a long workout. Just 5 minutes of gentle stretching is enough to help your back.
5 minutes sounds possible, and I could connect it to something I already do, like after I brush my teeth, so brushing becomes the trigger.
Yes, that's habit stacking. You attach a new habit to an existing habit, and it becomes more automatic. Your brain loves simple patterns like that.
Okay, so we have morning habits. Same wake up time, less phone, water, make the bed, and a little stretch. That already feels like a real routine.
And the best part is, it doesn't need perfect energy. It's just small actions. In 2026, we're not trying to be superheroes. We're trying to be steady.
I really like that idea of being steady because in the past I always tried to change my whole personality in January, and by February I felt tired and disappointed.
Yes, and then we blame ourselves, even though the plan was the problem, not us. That's why habits for 2026 should fit real life, not an ideal life.
Speaking of real life, let's talk about English learning habits because many people watching us are here exactly for that reason, including me, honestly.
Same here. Even as a teacher, I still learn every day. For 2026, my main habit is short daily English, not long study sessions once a week.
That makes sense. When I study once a week, I forget everything by the next time. But daily English feels hard with work, family, and zero energy.
That's why short is the magic word. 10 minutes a day is enough if you do it consistently. You can watch a short video, read, or just speak aloud.
Speak aloud, even alone, because I do that sometimes and I feel a bit silly, like my neighbors think I'm arguing with myself in English.
Haha, I promise you're not alone. Speaking aloud is amazing because your mouth and brain learn together. You don't need perfect sentences, just practice.
Okay, then my English habit for 2026 will be 5 to 10 minutes of speaking every day. I can talk about my day, my plans, or even complain.
Complaining in English is still English, so it counts. Another great habit is listening. Podcasts, videos, even background English while cooking helps.
I like listening while doing something else. It feels less like studying and more like living my life in English. It also helps with understanding accents.
Exactly. And don't forget repetition. Listening to the same episode again is not boring, it's powerful. The second time, you notice new words and phrases.
That's true. The first time, I'm just trying to understand the story. The second time, my brain relaxes and starts catching details. It's less stressful.
Stress is the enemy of habits. If a habit feels heavy, it won't last. That's why habits should feel friendly, like something you don't argue with.
I love that phrase, don't argue with. If I have to fight myself every day, the habit is too gig. I want habits that feel almost automatic.
Exactly. Let's move to evening habits because evenings are tricky. We're tired, hungry, and emotional. And that's when bad habits feel very attractive.
Oh, yes. My evening habit right now is scrolling on my phone for way too long, then feeling bad about it, and then scrolling more because I feel bad.
That cycle is very human. For 2026, my evening habit is choosing my next day's clothes and tasks. It reduces morning stress so much.
That sounds boring, but also smart. I hate mornings where I stand in front of my closet like it's a big life decision. That stress follows me all day.
Exactly. A calm evening creates a calm morning. Another evening habit I love is writing one sentence about the day. Not a long journal, just one line.
One sentence feels safe. If I try to write a full page, I skip it. But one sentence like, today was busy but productive, sounds doable.
Yes, and over time, those sentences show patterns. You see what makes you happy, tired, or stressed. It's like a quiet conversation with yourself.
I like that. It feels reflective but not heavy. What about screens at night? Everyone talks about less screen time, but it's honestly hard.
I agree. So instead of no screens, I choose screens with limits. For example, no phone in bed. I can watch something earlier, but bedtime is quiet.
That's a good compromise. If rules are too strict, I break them. But a clear limit, like no phone in bed, feels possible and respectful to real life.
Exactly. Habits should support you, not punish you. Another evening habit I want is a short walk after dinner, even just 10 minutes around the block.
I love evening walks. They help digestion, but also my mood. Sometimes that walk is the only moment in the day when my brain finally slows down.
Yes, and walking is great for thinking in English, too. You can replay conversations, practice sentences, or just listen to something calm and simple.
So true. I've solved many problems while walking, and sometimes I even feel a bit proud, like, wow, I am an adult with healthy habits.
Those moments matter. Feeling proud makes habits stick. In 2026, we should celebrate small wins, not wait for huge results to feel good.
That's such an important mindset shift. Instead of asking, did I change my life? We ask, did I show up today? That question feels kinder.
Exactly. Habits are about showing up, even imperfectly. And when you miss a day, you don't quit. You just return the next day without drama.
I love that idea. Without drama. I'm very dramatic with myself. One bad day and I say, it's over. But maybe it doesn't need to be so emotional.
I've been there too. That's why 2026 is not about being perfect, but about being patient. And patience is a habit we practice every day.
Patience is definitely the hardest habit for me because I want results fast. And when I don't see them, I feel like I'm wasting time and energy.
That feeling is so common, and social media makes it worse. We see before and after stories, but we don't see the boring middle part of habits.
The boring middle is where I usually quit. It's not exciting, nothing special happens, and I start asking myself why I'm even doing this at all.
And that's exactly where habits are built. When it's boring and quiet and you still do the small action, that's when real change is happening.
Hearing that makes me feel calmer. It's like permission to move slowly. For 2026, I really want a slower, more stable year without constant pressure.
Same here. That's why another important habit is saying no more often. We don't talk about it enough, but saying no protects your time and energy.
Oh, that's a big one. I say yes too quickly, then I feel tired and annoyed, but I don't want to disappoint people. It's a hard balance.
It is, but a gentle no is better than a tired yes. In 2026, my habit is to pause before answering and ask myself if I truly have space for it.
I like that pause idea. Even a few seconds can change the answer. It gives your brain time to check in with your real feelings, not just politeness.
Exactly. Another habit connected to this is planning rest. Rest should not be something we earn, it should be part of the plan from the beginning.
That sounds so healthy, but also strange. I'm used to resting only when I'm exhausted or sick. Planned rest feels almost responsible.
It does, but rest makes habits sustainable. If you're always tired, even good habits feel heavy. A rested person makes better choices.
That's true. When I'm tired, my habits disappear. I eat badly, skip practice, and stay up too late. Everything feels harder than it should be.
Exactly. So for 2026, rest can be simple. One quiet evening a week, a slow morning, or even just sitting without your phone for 10 minutes.
Sitting without my phone for 10 minutes sounds harder than a workout, honestly. But I know it's good for my brain. It feels uncomfortable at first.
Discomfort doesn't mean something is bad, it often means it's new. The brain loves noise, but silence helps us hear our own thoughts more clearly.
That's deep, Amelia. But you're right. When I'm quiet, I start thinking about what I actually want, not what I think I should want.
Exactly. And habits help us create space for that clarity. They reduce chaos so we can focus on what matters. That's a big reason that I love routines.
Speaking of routines, what about weekends? I always feel like my habits disappear on Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday feels very hard again.
Weekends don't need strict routines, but gentle anchors help. For example, keeping your wake up time close or doing one small habit you enjoy.
One small habit feels fair, like a walk, reading, or a bit of English practice, but without pressure, just to stay connected to the routine.
Exactly. Habits don't mean no fun, they just give structure, so fun doesn't turn into chaos. Balance is really the goal for 2026.
Balance sounds like the most adult word ever, but also the most necessary. I don't want extreme changes anymore. I want something I can keep.
That's the key question. Can I keep this? If the answer is no, the habit needs to be smaller or kinder. Sustainability is more important than speed.
I wish someone told me that years ago. I spent so much time starting and quitting instead of building something slowly and honestly.
But every start taught you something. There's no wasted effort. In 2026, we use those lessons and choose habits that respect who we are now.
That makes me feel hopeful, actually. Like I don't need to become a new person, just a slightly better version of myself step by step.
Exactly. Growth doesn't mean changing everything, it means caring a bit more about your future self and supporting them with good habits.
That's a big reason I love routines. Speaking of routines, what about weekends? I always feel like my habits disappear on Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday feels very hard again.
Weekends don't need strict routines, but gentle anchors help. For example, keeping your wake up time close or doing one small habit you enjoy.
One small habit feels fair, like a walk, reading, or a bit of English practice, but without pressure, just to stay connected to the routine.
Exactly. Habits don't mean no fun, they just give structure, so fun doesn't turn into chaos. Balance is really the goal for 2026.
Balance sounds like the most adult word ever, but also the most necessary. I don't want extreme changes anymore. I want something I can keep.
That's the key question. Can I keep this? If the answer is no, the habit needs to be smaller or kinder. Sustainability is more important than speed.
I wish someone told me that years ago. I spent so much time starting and quitting instead of building something slowly and honestly.
But every start taught you something. There's no wasted effort. In 2026, we use those lessons and choose habits that respect who we are now.
That makes me feel hopeful, actually. Like I don't need to become a new person, just a slightly better version of myself step by step.
Exactly. Growth doesn't mean changing everything, it means caring a bit more about your future self and supporting them with good habits.
When you say it like that, habits feel less like rules and more like kindness, like small gifts I give to my future self every day.
I love that way of thinking, and that mindset makes habits easier to return to even after a bad day. You're not failing, you're just learning.
This conversation really changed how I see habits. They feel softer now, less scary, and more realistic for a normal human life.
I'm really glad to hear that, and I hope everyone listening feels the same because habits should support your life, not take joy away from it.
I think that's the biggest takeaway for me, that habits are not about control, but about care, and that idea feels much lighter in my head.
Yes, and when habits come from care, you don't punish yourself for missing a day, you simply notice it, smile a little, and continue the next day.
That mindset removes so much pressure. Instead of feeling guilty, you feel responsible in a calm way, like you trust yourself to come back.
Exactly. Trust is huge. For 2026, one of my habits is actually trusting my own pace, not comparing my progress to others online or offline.
Comparison really steals joy. I can feel good about my habits, then I see someone doing more, and suddenly my progress feels small and useless.
That's why protecting your mental space is also a habit. Choosing what you watch, who you listen to, and how often you compare is very important.
So true. I want my habits to help me feel calmer, not more anxious. If something makes me feel worse every day, it's probably not helping.
Exactly. A good habit should support your energy, not drain it. Even discipline should feel gentle, not aggressive or angry.
Gentle discipline is a new idea for me, but I really like it. It feels like guidance instead of pressure, like someone helping you stay on track.
Yes, like an inner coach, not an inner critic. For example, if you miss your English practice, you don't say, I'm lazy. You say, tomorrow is fine.
That small change in language makes a big difference. The way we talk to ourselves shapes how safe we feel trying again.
Exactly. Language matters, especially when learning a language. So practicing English should also feel safe and friendly, not stressful or embarrassing.
I think that's why podcasts like this help. It feels like listening to real people, not a test. You hear mistakes, laughter, and natural conversation.
That's our goal with Daily English Flow. We want English to feel like part of life, not something separate that only exists in books or classrooms.
And for 2026, my main habit will be consistency over intensity. I don't need perfect days. I just need many normal days with small effort.
That's a beautiful goal. Normal days build real results. Big changes usually come from boring repetition, even if that sounds unexciting at first.
I'm starting to respect boring repetition more now. It's quiet, but it works. It's like compound interest for your life and your skills.
That's a great comparison. And just like money habits, life habits grow slowly. Then suddenly you look back and see how far you've come.
That future moment feels motivating, but not in a stressful way. More like curiosity. Like, let's see what happens if I keep going.
Curiosity is such a healthy motivator. It's playful and open. It allows mistakes without turning them into personal failures.
I really hope people listening feel inspired, but also relaxed. Like, they don't need to fix everything. Just choose one small thing to start with.
Yes, one habit is enough. You don't need a full plan today. You just need one action that feels kind and realistic for your current life.
And if that habit changes later, that's okay too. We change, our lives change, and habits can change with us.
Exactly. Flexibility keeps habits alive. Rigid rules often break, but flexible systems adapt and continue. That's a great lesson for 2026.
I feel like we could talk about this for hours, but this feels like a good moment to pause and let everyone reflect on their own habits.
I agree. Take a moment after this episode and ask yourself, what is one small habit that would make my days a little better?
And remember, it doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to be yours, something you can return to even on tired or messy days.
We're really glad you spent this time with us, practicing English and thinking about your future habits in a calm and realistic way.
Thank you for listening and for being part of the Daily English Flow community. We appreciate you more than you know.
If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone learning English too.
We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourself. Be patient and enjoy the process. Bye, everyone.